Published 1701 Est, the 18th of November 2017. Updated 2159 Est, the 18th of November 2017. NewcastleunderLyme MP Paul Farrelly, above 55, is said to have gone berserk at Labour colleague James Frith late on Tuesday night. A drunken Labour MP squared up to a fellow politician in the Commons chamber and unleashed a foul-mouthed tirade after a late-night Brexit debate, it was claimed last night. Jeremy Corbyn has ordered an investigation after claims by his own MPs that Paul Farrelly threatened Labour colleague James Frith in the voting lobby. NewcastleunderLyme MP Mr Farrelly, 55, is said to have gone berserk at Mr Frith late on Tuesday night, moments after another altercation with two other Labour MPs in the terrace bar of the Commons overlooking the Thames. Mr Farrelly last night denied being abusive and said he was the victim of dirty tricks. It is not the first time the lager-drinking rugby player has been involved in a Westminster fracas. 7 years ago, he admitted hitting a man during a karaoke night in another Commons bar. Last week's alleged confrontation with Bury North MP Mr Frith, a 38-year-old former rock singer, came after Mr Farrelly had a separate row with two Labour MPs, Ruth Smith and Gareth Snell. Their Stoke constituencies border his own. After leaving the bar just before 11 p.m. to vote on the Brexit bill, passionate pro-European Mr Farrelly was departing the debating chamber by steps down into the I-Division lobby when, according to Labour sources, he barged into Mr Frith in the alphabetical line of MPs waiting to vote. An MP who witnessed the incident said Farrelly seemed inebriated. He squared up to Frith as they were queuing to vote. Jeremy Corbyn has ordered an investigation after claims by his own MPs that Mr Farrelly threatened Labour colleague James Frith left in the voting lobby. Writer jumped in front of Frith, who said, okay, aren't we supposed to be in a queue? Farrelly just started effing, saying, don't you start something with me. The MP said he was later told Mr Farrelly had been in a confrontation in a bar with Ms Smith and Mr Snell and left with issues of unresolved aggression. Another senior MP said after all the fuss about bullying and misconduct at Parliament, you'd think an MP would know better than to go berserk like a lager lout. To do it in the debating chamber itself during a vote on such an important issue is even worse. The incident has led to a complaint to Labour Chief Whip Nick Brown who, with Mr Corbyn's backing, launched an investigation into the allegations. Last night, Mr Farrelly denied hurling abuse at Mr Frith. He told the Mail on Sunday, I deny it. I don't even know who James Frith is. And of his alleged four-letter outburst, he added, that's not something I would say. That's absolute nonsense. In 2010 we reported how Farrelly hit Bjorn Hurrell below in a Commons bar, leaving him blood and bruised. How the Mail on Sunday reported the story. Mr Farrelly added that he did recall bumping into the Stoke MPs as they were coming off the terrace and having a brief conversation, but the MP, who voted against triggering Article 50 to leave the EU, claimed that Ms Smith and Mr Snell had a track record of mischief-making. He said the complaint against him was nonsense and camouflage for their opportunistic decision to drop their hardline anti-Brexit stance. He added, the fact is that the new MPs for Stoke North and Stoke Central are rather different to the colleagues I have previously had in the Potteries. The fact we don't get on is an open secret. Former journalist Mr Farrelly has previously been accused of trying to sabotage Mr Snell's bid to be picked as Labour candidate for Stoke Central earlier this year, claims he denied. Mr Farrelly made headlines in 2010 when newspaper seller Bjorn Hurrell was left blood and bruised after he was hit by the MP in a Commons bar late at night. The Mail on Sunday also revealed in 2013 that Commons investigators upheld a complaint that Mr Farrelly had harassed the former clerk of a select committee on which he served. He insisted the complaint was an attempt to discredit him. A poor reputation could cost Mr Farrelly his seat, where his majority has fallen from nearly 10,000 when he was first elected in 2001 to just 30 in the June election. In public, he has taken a tough stance on law and order, previously saying decent people should not see their lives blighted by nuisance and antisocial behaviour. A Labour spokesman said a number of complaints have been made to the Chief Whip with regard to behaviour of a Labour MP. These are being investigated. It would therefore be inappropriate to comment further on this matter. None of the other MPs involved was available for comment.